Now we're gonna go and milk some goats. I had somebody ask me a really good question the other day that had a goat that was bleeding on the outside of the teat. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Quite a bit of it is going to be about udder care, how to treat your animal properly when it comes to milking. So we're going to talk about that quite a bit. We're going to get to doing some chores and then we're going to jump right into milking. Feeding baleage again. And this new baleage I got a really nice chopper in it. Look at that. Nice, clean cut all the way through. Take a good wad like this, and it just falls apart. The nice part about it being this small, every farmer will tell you baleage is a bit of a pain because they pull it all into the pen. You know, they grab a mouthful and then they pull it in. Well, if somebody else grabs it, the rest falls apart. Whereas if you have longer stuff, this bale does have that on the ends. If you get a big wad like this, and this stuff is fairly long, a lot of this ends up just as bedding. Not so nice. But this nice small stuff is nice. We had a little whoopsie trying to accomplish too much at once. For those who don't have as many skills and you know your limits, just stay within your limits. For myself, videoing, feeding, and doing water, it might not be a very good thing to do that. Goats, when they see water, they think it's like an endless black hole. Doesn't matter if it's a little crack like that. They don't like it. They freak out. They don't want to cross over it. They think they're gonna fall. I think they go cuckoo. Apparently sheep are the same way. Correct me if I'm wrong. But because it's so bloody hot out, as long as I'm able to clean up what will move, the rest will be dry in a couple hours. we're feeding our kids goat milk now. I know it's a lot of the milk producers and guys like to shake their head around it. It's a hard concept to grasp, but you can either strip the milk in the tank and make your money, and then take that money and buy powder back and make milk. It's actually, I think currently, pretty close. It's more expensive to do that than it is to just feed them the milk. Now, there's also arguments as, are you shipping your allotment? Are you not shipping your allotment? Makes a big difference. But at the end of the day, for myself, I'd rather have it this way than having to make the money and then spend it back on powder again. And as you've seen on our first group of kids this year, the January group, if you haven't, go back. It'll be in our videos. Go back to see the kids in January, and you'll see how well they did on the cow's milk, the goat's milk. They're doing just as good. It's consistent quality of milk. It's just so much better. I don't think I'll ever go back to powder milk, but pumping the amount of milk that I'm pumping out every day in a month cost me $3,000 on not shipping this milk. That's how much milk we're feeding. It's sad. I could buy a whole cow with that kind of money. That's just go to show you how it all works out. All right, so we're talking udder health. I had somebody ask me the question about milking equipment, okay? Here's our milking equipment. This is all it is. It's a silicone liner. You can see this one here I've replaced because the bottom down here, this part broke. It wasn't staying on anymore, so I replaced it. But these things generally can last quite a while. My milk inspector says they're good for 2 years. Now you got to think this milker here milks 10 parlors and 2 goats in each parlor. So this milker milks 40 times a day. So if you have 1 goat, I would not replace these every other year, okay? But the question was, it was making her goat bleed. Not bleed as in the milk was coming out blood, because that's an internal issue. Generally that leads to mastitis. Now you'll know right away, at least for myself, you'll know right away when you have udder health issues, because the goat will act out. You'll know because it's a sore spot, okay? So the question about the blood on teeth. Normally, I don't have issues with blood on teeth like she's talking about, but it's your lucky day. I do have one that has that issue. I'm going to explain why she has that issue. We did a little trial on, I left a kid with its mom. This is the mom. The reason why the teeth are bleeding is because the kid bit mom a lot, and she's very sensitive. Like, Very sensitive. It's very sore. How do I cure that? So everybody knows that blood underneath the scar, it's healing. Okay? So it's healing, but I don't want that scab to peel off all the time because that's not good for it either. So to avoid that is to not milk the goat like right dry. I don't know if we've shown you guys, but we don't milk our goats completely empty. Reason number one, not because of udder health, but it's because they actually milk more if you leave milk in the goat. So you can see she's getting quite a bit smaller already, and the milk is still coming in. So you see how it just kind of jumped up there? She's done. She's still milking that tad little bit, but I don't want that. And that, once you see that jump up, if you have a milker like that, or if you're milking by hand, especially if you're milking by hand, once it stops at steady stream and you're just squeezing that last little bit out, stop. Don't milk anymore, because then you're hurting the teeth. You don't want to do that. So I'm gonna milk her, and you guys are gonna watch me get beat up when I do that.
It was like that during the winter as well.
You can see she's very uncomfortable. That kid really did a number on her, man. We won't be doing that again. That's another reason why we don't leave the kids with their mother, because they chew on the teeth. I probably could have gotten a little bit more milk out of her, but she'll be okay. But as you can see now, if you're able to get a little bit closer, the scab is still there. It's not disturbed. It's not fresh bleeding. So it'll continually healing without being disturbed. And you want to do that for as long as you can. Also, another udder care trick or tip is the end of a goat's teeth, right there. You kind of see that white piece? That's the inside of the teeth. It's a piece of manure or foreign material that's dirty and carries bacteria is on there. You can get the infection in the udder, and that is that's how you get mastitis and those kind of infections and stuff. Your best defense, a cow guy will tell you, is to put post-dip spray on there. There's a post-dip iodine that you can put on there. But for a goat, your best trick is to have really good dry bedding. No moisture. You want it nice and dry, and that will cure that issue. You don't need to put that post-dip on. If you actually put post-dip on continuously, you'll end up with a high bacteria count in your milk. Not that it's harmful, but your quality of milk is not as good. That's just something that's been passed down through generations. A friend of mine had it on his farm. I've never done it because I've taken that information and I've gone, I'm not going to do that because I don't want that. And we haven't had an issue that we needed to do that. So that's why we don't. Group of mamas that had the kids in January. That's a whole lot of milk. Because I grabbed more milk than what we actually needed for the kids, I can dump the rest of that in here too. It's already gone through the filter, so we just gotta kill maybe a couple of the flies that landed in there. It gets filtered a bunch of more times before it goes to you, so don't worry about it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something new. I gotta go to work. Gotta go help the neighbor fill some silo. Yes, the sun is setting, not rising. So it's gonna be a late one. Take care. God bless. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye for now.